Mr. Speaker, and I'm privileged to stand in this House and speak to a bill that is extremely important to the people that sent me to this Parliament, to First Nations people, Indigenous people in northern Manitoba, and of course First Nations people across our country. Mr. Speaker, I want to begin by speaking to this bill in speaking to the reality that First Nations youth face in communities in our part of the country. Some weeks ago, I had the opportunity to visit Little Grand Rapids. Little Grand Rapids is a small First Nation on the southeast side of Lake Winnipeg. It's isolated, so there are no roads that go there. It's in the middle of the forest, or the bush as we call it. People work hard at what they do, hunting, trapping, fishing. And they hope the best, like anybody does, about the future of their kids. And when I go house to house, what I hear from them in visiting, I hear about their concern for their kids and the concern that they have that their kids aren't going to have the same opportunities as other kids. And Mr. Speaker, it's not because of where Little Grand Rapids is, or how far it's from the city, or where it's positioned geographically. It's because it's a First Nation, and because their kids, they know, face some of the most unequal opportunities in terms of education in this country, and that because they are First Nations and going to school on reserve, they are guaranteed to be going to a school that is funded to a lesser extent than other schools. And what does that mean, Mr. Speaker? What it means is that their kids go to a school that some people describe as a fire trap. It's a school where the doors don't lock properly, so to be able to lock some of them, so in -40 weather the cold doesn't come in, they have to use a chain and a lock. It means that their fire alarm system doesn't work. In fact, when Aboriginal and Northern Affairs built the school, they hooked up those little fire alarm contraptions that we see everywhere else, and they put them on the wall throughout the school and never hooked up the wiring to a fire alarm system. And Mr. Speaker, guess what? There is no fire alarm system. Not only is there no fire alarm system, as a result, there's no sprinkler system. And as a result of the underfunding, there are no fire extinguishers. Mr. Speaker, my question in this House, and my question to the Minister of Aboriginal and Northern Affairs, is would he be okay with his kids going to a school like that? Why should the youth of Little Grand Rapids and First Nations across this country go to school in schools that are dangerous, that are underfunded, that are falling apart, that are full of mold, that don't have enough books, that don't have enough teachers, that don't have enough resources, that are setting them up to fail?